Hello, and welcome back to the Hats We Wear. Today, I am thrilled to be chatting with someone I've never met before. This is the Kingmaker. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me back.
Sure. Just so he's going to talk about the hats he wears and the joys and the struggles and how he's overcome those struggles. So tell me about what hats you're wearing right now. Literally,
Oh,
you are wearing a hat right now, but metaphorically, what hats are you wearing right
exactly.
now?
Yeah, I'm wearing this. This is brown. I get this is what color is this? This is should be
It's like a
brown.
tan, yeah, it's a light brown, yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you again for having me back. My name is Richard Okere Jr. I'm the Kingmaker. I wear many hats. And most people, especially when it comes to business, I I'm a business coach. I'm a business strategist. So in that sense, I work with businesses, organizations to help them to profit better from their message, their brand, basically. And then I have the other hat that I'm wearing. I'm wearing the hat of a husband to to my wife. Wow, and that's very interesting hat because if I were to go into that, so my wife has a brand of her own also. She basically teaches digital skills and she, teaches people how to do a lot of things when it comes to the digital, especially in the skills aspect. So, and the hat I wear there, I wear the hat of her personal assistant.
Okay.
So when it comes to the things that go into the back end, setting up funnels, helping with designs, I do all those things in the back end. So when she'll be talking and she'll be like, my team is going to do this. I'm the team of one person. So 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 that's another hat that I wear. I also wear the hat of a father. If I'm hopefully not too before we end this conversation, you're going to hear my son say hello to us
Okay.
because once in a while I have to. So he's just 5 months old. So
Oh,
for people who have a baby, you can tell how that can be.
yes.
Um, so once I have to just before I got on this call, I was with him, so I had to go and give him to my wife so that I can jump on the call.
Mhm.
And of course, they need a lot of attention, and you always have to be with them, play, and still do your work. Sometimes I have to carry him on my hand when I'm doing coaching calls, and just let people understand that because my family is a very big part of what I do. I don't believe that um, I have to, you have to be professional, but also let people know also what the situations that you are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes, especially people clients that I've connected with in a certain way, I let them know that, hey, my son is going to be here. I need to give him attention, but let's have a call. I hope it doesn't disturb you, that kind of a thing.
Hmm.
So I think that's then I wear another hat of a son to my parents. So and there are needs there. There are so if you are in Africa, you know that if you know Africa, especially Nigeria, you know that the family is a very closely knitted circle, and you have responsibilities to your family, also your extended family, so to say. So you always have to communicate. You always have to check on them. You always have to contribute to things that are happening there in various ways that you can. Your parents are going to call you, your and relatives are going to call you, activities you have to join in, all those things come in there, and it's and that. So another hat that I wear is in my local church. So I'm a Christian. So in my local church, not so much, but at least once in a while, I have responsibilities, especially volunteer kind of work to do there also. So I think that those are the hats right now.
That's a lot. That's a lot of hats. How do you find, especially is your 5-month-old your only child?
No, we have there are six of us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you have a lot of kids then. So
No, no, oh, you mean how many children I have?
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yes.
just one, my first
Okay.
son.
So now how are you navigating through that new hat of being a dad and balancing, because now you've got your own little close knit family, your wife and your son. How do
Yeah.
you find navigating that, the two hats of son and dad and husband? Like maybe you have something planned with your wife and your son, but then something comes up with the family. Is there any conflict there, or does it all just kind of flow?
Yes. So how it typically happens is a practical example is that yesterday I was on a call, a coaching call with
Hmm.
people in our group coaching program that we're doing. So I run a group coaching program with my wife. So
Okay.
it was very funny because I had to do I had to moderate and start of the program, and then my son was there. So one of the things that helps us is that we have a help, not necessarily like somebody who helps us. So my wife's niece is staying with us, so she's helpful in that regard. You know, we can give the boy to him,
Yeah.
to her, to stay
Hmm.
with her for some time before for us to finish whatever we are doing. Then
Hmm.
secondly, also I have to be very. It's more of an understanding that I have with my wife. So when she needs to do stuff, I don't try to make what I am doing more important than what she is doing.
Perfect. Okay.
Exactly. So, like as I'm talking to you now, she has stuff that she's doing,
Hmm.
and the time I had my son, I had to work. Even the fact that I had to work, I had to give take him so that I cannot just allow her to do her work. And
Hmm.
then at some point, what goes for us is primarily that understanding
Hmm.
that what you are doing is not more important than what I'm doing. What I'm doing is not more important. But when it is time sensitive, for example, I have to jump on this call right now,
Yeah.
and she just has the boy. So, and I can do what I need to do here. Another thing that comes with that also is planning the things that I have to do. So I have a to-do list, and just write out the things that I have to do, and then just execute them that way. At least make sure that I'm not doing frivolous things. I do things that are the time I have, I focus it on doing exactly what moves the needle for me. So I think that's, but the primary thing I would say, and then another thing that happened also is that when it comes to the extended family, like my mother needed my attention yesterday as she was calling, and I couldn't, I took the call immediately and I told her, can I call you back? I'm in a meeting. And then this morning, they also understand the kind of thing I do also,
Okay.
because
Okay.
they know that a lot of times I'm on a call. I was doing that before I got married. So when I tell them I'll call you back, they understand. And
Okay.
I call back on them and check on them. That's basically it.
That's great. I heard a couple of really important things that listeners may be able to associate with, especially the listeners that have a new baby, that it's important to um not view your job as more important than your spouse's. So
Exactly.
and there's communication. Okay, I have this call, so all right, I'll be on because you got this call. All right, well then when that
Yeah.
call's done, then I've got this. So there's communication. And I think that's really,
Yeah.
really important. And what else you said that resonated with me is that you have a to-do list. So you
Yes.
prioritize when you have your time without your
Yeah.
son, all right, this is what I need to get done. So I think that's really
Exactly.
important because it will help alleviate all the stress that's associated with having a new baby is stressful. It's it's a disruption.
It's very
It's
stressful.
beautiful, but it's a disruption. So learning
Exactly.
how to navigate it, I love that you're on today because you're talking about it from a new dad of 5 months and,
Yes.
a baby is disruptive, you know? They're wonderful,
It's
but
very
yeah.
disruptive.
Yeah,
It's not something you can delegate to anybody. You have to be there and
yeah,
do it. So even if you have with your frowning face, you still have to be there and do the work. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how it goes.
yeah, through the tired eyes and everything else because you didn't get much sleep and yeah,
Exactly.
it's teamwork, it's teamwork.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
How did you come into being, a coach? What was your path like there to put that hat on?
Okay, so for me, I have always been passionate about helping people to just be more, just achieve, don't live a life of insignificance, live a life where you are productive, achieving, and all the rest. And I believe that business coaching is an aspect of it. Not necessarily the title of business coaching, but basically the work of creating solutions that help people fulfill their dreams. So, so the business coaching aspect.
Well, we froze. It's okay.
Okay,
You froze there for a second. It's okay. I can
all
cut that
right.
out.
Okay,
So you're talking about business coaching and how you like creating solutions that help people fulfill their dreams.
exactly. So the business coaching aspect for me happened 9 years ago, where I recognized that I needed to create a framework. There are people who actually needed coaching. The best way to solve their problems is to guide them through it. And that was where I began to create a framework that I refer to as the territorial domination framework. And that framework is basically a system framework. And that, when I recognized that, I began to create that framework. Then I launched my coaching program. I launched my group coaching program also. And it began to pick up. And so that was how, but where it happened for me was that I had to also recognize that all the knowledge that I had to be distilled into a workable system. So I signed up for coaching. I traveled 6 hours on the road to go and meet a coach in his house, and he drilled me on what it means to build a business around your message. And that was one of the things that helped me. I understood how to document processes, especially processes that I've gone through, so that I can use that to help other people also. So so that it has started happening for me in 2014, and then on from there, I've been building the business since then.
That's amazing. And you're enjoying it?
Oh, definitely, I'm enjoying it. I
Have you
mean, what I enjoy about it is that there's something about seeing somebody who has been in difficulty, who has not had the clarity that they need. They have been very unclear about what it is that they want to focus on, and confused about a lot of things. And you're able to sit down with them, listen to them, and then be able to guide them through what they need to be doing. Just yesterday, we closed one of our coaching programs, the group coaching program, and we were getting feedback from them. And I was amazed at how even some people that I thought that had, they felt that I was being too harsh on them at that point. But then they told me that, the way I pushed them was what they needed. And they were grateful for that, because I can push just to get you to do something. And I was very grateful for it. So hearing what people see, the transformation that happens in people's life, and the results they're able to produce, just from being in our program, is one of the things that I'm grateful for. And that's ultimately what I've always wanted to do. I had to stop one of my businesses that I do, just because I wanted to focus on this coaching aspect. So I do publishing, book publishing. So I was running a publishing company, doing very well, getting clients, but I recognized that it was taken away from the core thing that I wanted to be doing, which is the coaching. And I had to close down that company. You can imagine a company that was ranking #1 in my city on Google. And it's the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. So I was already ranking #1 on search engine, and but I had to close down everything just because I wanted to focus on the coaching, because that's what I enjoy.
That was good insight on your part, though, that you recognize I need to take this hat off because I want to spend time on the other one.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
wondering, what kind of struggles did you have with navigating becoming a new coach, like running your own business, whether it's through the publishing company or the coaching, starting your
Yes.
business? What kind of struggles did you have, and how did you overcome them?
the biggest struggle I would say that I've always had is the struggle of what do I do? Because when you're starting out, cash flow is very important, especially when you're not doing paid employment. You want to take on many jobs as possible, because I have a lot of digital marketing skills. I do lead magnets, funnels, social media marketing. I consult for some companies, and what happens is that you want to take on more, probably because you want to get more money in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you then find that, so to find that balance between the fact that you need this money to take care of present things, and also the fact that you want to focus on, believe, have faith in your business, in this one thing, and grow that one thing, and probably give it the effort and the energy that you are even committing to another person's business. You can commit that effort and energy to your own business and grow it. So that was the struggle that I had. But I had to recognize the fact that, and then the fact that I got married, when you get married, responsibilities, bills increase, and all those things. So for me, it was up to like, so I'd always had that mind, that thinking that you need to stop doing this, you need to stop doing this. And that has been ringing in my mind, that you need to believe in what you are doing, you need to focus on what you are doing, and all those things. And that was the big struggle for me, until what helped me from that was that we did a launch for my wife, and it was very successful. So I should put it that way. So it was very successful, and that helped me to move away. That was like the cushion for me to drop the publishing company, drop any other thing I was doing, so that I could just focus on my coaching. So that was a help for me. So that work I would have been doing for another person, I decided to put that work, at least for my wife's business, so that it can become successful and profitable, support the family, so that I can then drop the other things I was doing and focus on my own coaching business.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you took your attention away from other businesses and kind of put it towards your wives, because that was your
Exactly.
team. If you're going to spend time on another
Yes.
business other than your own, it should be your wife, because she's contributing to the household. So
Exactly.
you are
Yes.
her team. So that makes sense. Are there any
Yes.
hats that you're looking to put on? Are there any new things that you want to try?
The most immediate, what I can think of now is I have a background in music. So one of these days I want to do probably release a single. I have about 16 or 20 songs written somewhere and saved on my Google Drive. So I can sleep and get songs in my head. I literally dream of it. So it just comes to me, my dream. So I just wake up and take my phone and record it, the sound, at least immediately, record it and save it on my Google Drive. And so one of these days, I'm gonna drop a single.
That's a real creative right there. If you're dreaming of songs coming to you, that's a sign right there, my friend, that you need to be putting that stuff out. Because I don't dream about songs, making my own songs. I always wake up and I'm singing someone else's song, but
Oh, wow.
I don't dream of my own. So that's pretty cool. I think you
Yeah.
should. Do you play an instrument too?
Yes, I played the drums for like 8 years, and then I
Okay.
learned the violin. I played violin for like 2-3 years, and that was basically it. Drums, violin, those two instruments.
Okay. So the lyrics come to you, and a little bit of
Yes,
the music. Okay. That's
exactly.
amazing. Well, that's
Yes.
great. Is there anything else that you want to share with the listener?
Okay. What I would want to share with everybody is that I know that people are in that place where they are in between various hats, and trying to manage various hats. It's not a bad thing. We all go through that at various phases of our life. We're always going through that. And I think the best thing that you can do is to listen to your instinct. I've learned that instinct, most times, I figured that most times we know what to do. It's there in our mind telling us do this, but you're just considering, doubting yourself and all those things. So sometimes you just have to listen to that gut feeling and just do what you have to do. Stop it. Stop what you need to stop. Start what you need to focus on what you need to focus on, and just believe that it's going to all turn out good. So that's what I want to share with everybody.
Yeah, and you know what, I heard that through a lot of what you were saying, that you trust your instinct, your intuition. And I actually
Yeah.
just had a workshop on that myself. I gave a workshop on trusting your intuition because I'm a coach as
Wow.
well. I'm a transformational coach. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I heard that in you, and I said, "Oh, he's on my wavelength there with the intuition and just being
Yeah.
quiet and sitting and listening." And you knew that you were meant to just do this one thing and focus on this one part, the coaching, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
absolutely knew it, and you jumped at it when you had the opportunity. And I think that's
Yes.
important to have the
Yes.
courage to just trust and take the lead.
Yes. Yes. And that's very important. If we can trust our instincts, the more, it's going to help us a lot. Sometimes, sometimes it may not go well, but sometimes it will take time because you are going to go through challenges and struggle and all those things. But if you don't go through those challenges and struggle, you will not know how not to do it. You will not know the things that are the stumbling blocks and the obstacles on the way that you can even use to teach other people and share, and it becomes part of your story. So most times, the fact that it's taking too long doesn't mean that you won't get to your destination. Okay, so and that's one thing that people need to know. If you are sure that you are on the right path, don't focus on the distance. Just keep your eyes on the fact that you will get to your destination. And most times when you're on the right path, it doesn't really necessarily take that long. And also, if you are going that path not alone, with a coach, mentor, somebody that is guiding you through that, then you will eventually get to the destination that you will be happy with. So that's what I want to add to that.
Yeah, and yeah, being willing to ask for help. And I love everything that you're saying because it's right up the same thing that I believe, that if you're on the right
Yeah.
track, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna
Yes.
know that you're on the right track, and just look at that next step. Don't look at the top of the stairway. Just look at the next step and
Yes.
then the next step. So I
Yes.
love everything that you're saying. It resonates with me completely.
Thank you
So
so much. Glad.
thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed meeting you and
Thank you, Dad.
getting to know your story a little bit.
I'm not sure I've shared this story in detail anywhere else the way I shared it here. So this is the first time I'm sharing
Oh, I
it.
love it. Well, it's a good story. And you know what?
Yeah.
What I love about this podcast is that I'm meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing, especially the people that are coming on my show, there's an alignment. So our energy is aligning. So I'm finding
Yeah.
that there's belief that there's a thread through all of us because we're all humans. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yes.
beautiful thing. It really is, just getting to know people from other parts of the world that I never
Yeah.
would have been able to do if I hadn't started this podcast. So I just
Yes.
love sharing that with the listeners as well, that there's a common we have more in common than we don't have in common. So,
Exactly. Exactly. That's
so yeah. So for the listeners, thank you for joining us today. And I hope you join me next time on The Hats That We Wear.